Hey everyone, look who it is. Louie Kablooey. That's my name. Wear it out. Man, have I got an amazing true story for you today. Actually, you know, it's part of an even bigger story from the Bible about how God rescued the Israelites from slavery from way over there in Egypt. The Israelites' leader was a man named Moses.
God has made me his messenger, and he wants to have a covenant with us.
What's a covenant?
It's an unbreakable promise.
Why didn't you just say that?
It's the Bible times. We use the word covenant. If you say so, God says that if we will obey his ways, he will bless us.
What if we don't obey him? Why wouldn't we?
I don't know. It's just a question. Well, if we don't obey him, then he will punish us.
All right. Then how will we know what he wants us to do?
He gave me these. There are 10 commandments that...
What are commandments? They're like laws. You get the idea. Anyway, as it turns out, Moses and the Israelites didn't uphold their end of the covenant, and God punished them by not allowing anyone who left Egypt to enter into the promised land. But since God was faithful to his promises, the next generation of Israelites still had a chance to see it. Now, when Moses died, God appointed a man named Joshua to be the next leader of the Israelites.
Whew! Big responsibility. I've been Moses' assistant for a long time, but now I've got some pretty big shoes to fill.
How big were Moses' feet, bro?
What? No. Yeah, no, it just means that I've got a big job to fill.
God told Joshua to be courageous and strong. Kablooey! God didn't mean for Joshua to hit the gym. He wanted Joshua to be strong in his spirit and in his relationship with God. And Joshua would have to be strong if he was going to lead the next generation into the promised land. And you know what? He could be courageous because God was leading him. So it wasn't long before Joshua faced his first obstacle. How are we supposed to cross the Jordan River?
God says, if you want to cross over safely, the priests must cross it first, carrying the Ark of the Covenant.
Why?
Because God said so. We all know that the Ark of the Covenant represents our contract with God, right? So by sending it across first, it represents God's presence going before us.
But why, bro?
Because this shows that the land belongs to God and not to us.
Gotcha. But why?
So we remember to follow God.
So they did what Joshua said, meaning they did what God said. And as soon as the priests stepped foot into the water with the ark, the water stopped flowing and piled up in a heap way upstream. The priests held the ark in the dry riverbed as the whole nation of Israel, one after the other, crossed the river on dry ground.
This seems familiar, right?
God had parted the Red Sea for the Israelites leaving Egypt, and this was a little wink to the younger generation, a reminder of his strength and that he would not let them down. Now, you don't want to forget something this amazing, trust me. So God had Joshua create a memorial.
All right, everyone, we need one person from each tribe.
12!
Yes, you're right. There are 12 tribes. Thank you. Anyway, one person from each of the 12 tribes will pick up a stone from the middle of the Jordan River and will create a memorial with all the stones.
So, once everyone was, safely across the river, the priests stepped out of the river with the Ark of the Covenant, and as soon as their feet hit the bank, the river water went back to normal. Once they got to the campsite, the important work of creating the memorial took place. Joshua set up each of the stones. Then Joshua spoke to the Israelites.
When your kids ask, what's up with the rocks? Tell them about how we crossed the Jordan River on dry ground because of God. He dried it up, just like he did with the Red Sea.
What if they ask why, bro?
Tell them he did it so that all the nations on earth would know that he is powerful. He did it so you would always have respect for the Lord, your God.
Joshua was a great leader, but it didn't have anything to do with his muscles. Muscles! Or because he had confidence and courage on his own. he was great because he followed God. And when we follow God by obeying his commands, he leads us. When God told Joshua to be strong and courageous, he meant that Joshua should pray and trust God to lead each step of the way. And that goes for us too, because God will always lead us. Whew! See what I mean? Another great story. Do I know how to pick 'em or what? Kablooey out. Kablooey!